Moving over to both Man City and Manchester United, actually, as they're both facing questions over potential age fraud scandal involving some of their foreign-born academy players. What kind of repercussions could there be for the club? Did they definitely know about this? Like, this seemingly has popped up a few times in world football, but maybe the first time I'm seeing it in England.
Well, no, it's been common. Believe me, I've had issues around this myself in the clubs I've been involved at, and yes, it is a problem, and it is often. Uh, what can I say? I mean, look, we've seen overage players in many cases at international level in terms of like the under 18s. I remember once when I was at Aberdeen, I think there was Scotland played against a Nigerian team, and it seemed, I think they worked it out that nearly everybody on the under 18 team was about 25. It was amazing. And so there are certain issues and stories in the game of all this sort of thing happening. It's certainly been the case that there are now proper tests, age tests that can be done rather than just relying on paperwork and passports, etc. You've got to remember that the prize of a Premier League contract or anything close to that is a huge incentive, and therefore does lead to fraud in terms of paperwork and passports and those sort of things and birth certificates. It's not surprising those sort of things happen. We have seen nefarious agents getting involved in this sort of thing as well and trying to ship kids over. And the clubs, I wouldn't say are complicit, but they certainly might just turn a blind eye to a degree when they see a great athletic specimen coming across their door. So it's very tempting to do that. We have to wait and see, but certainly, look, the pressure is on clubs to find those talented gems that they can try and uncover, and so it is often tempting to push the boundaries and push the envelope a little bit. I think if we did move to pure biometric and medical testing in terms of age testing, I think that might be the right thing to do right now, and then there could be no doubt going forward. And I think that's where the game has got to go. We already do it in terms of drugs and enhanced performance, so I don't see why age should be any different, and we should be having as clean a game as possible. So I would certainly advocate that we do move to that medical age testing as soon as we possibly can.
And is the kind of the concern and the biggest issue for other clubs when a club like Man City is potentially doing this, like, they're selling a player for a higher profit because somebody believes they're younger than they are? Is that kind of the biggest issue with this sort of scandal?
It's often that. It can be that. There can also be that just perhaps a player wants to enhance their career for longer. They can, as I say, if they play for an underage team like an under 18 team at national level, then they may have a higher value, even though they're 19 or 20. So those sort of things can come into play. But yes, of course, if a player claims to be 23 when he's actually 26, then of course the buying team thinks they've got more years ahead of him. Uh, it's a simple thing to fix, really, if these age tests can be sorted out. So most things these days, paperwork is getting out the door in many areas. You don't go through passports control many more times just with your passport. It's normally biometric, and that's the way things are going. So I don't see why in the world of elite athletes we shouldn't be moving towards medical testing, to be sure.